Moisés, the man who challenged an empire and nearly lost his faith. The Prince of Nowhere. He should never have survived. Born under a death decree, a Hebrew infant floated down the Nile in a basket toward destiny. Rescued by Pharaoh's daughter, he was raised in Egyptian luxury, gold, education, power, all at his fingertips. But every time he looked into the mirror, he saw someone else, not a prince, a stranger. Behind palace walls, Moisés lived with a secret. He was the son of slaves, hiding in silent plain. At night, he wandered the slums in silence. He saw his people suffer. He heard the cries, and he felt the guilt build, like sand in his lungs. He didn't belong to Egypt, but he didn't belong to the Hebrews either. He was nowhere. The breaking point. One moment changed everything. He saw an Egyptian beating a Hebrew slave. The rage ignited. He struck. One blow, the man died. Moisés buried the body, but secrets don't stay buried long in Egypt. He was no longer a prince, no longer protected. He ran into the desert, into exile. For 40 years, the man once destined for greatness disappeared. He became a shepherd, a husband, a man forgotten. But the guilt never left him. Even in the silence of the desert wind, he heard the echoes. You were supposed to lead us. You left. Before we continue, what would you have done in Moisés's place? Abandon your new life to return, or stay silent forever? Let us know in the comments. The voice in the fire. One day, everything changed again. A bush, burning but not consumed. A voice, deep, thunderous, divine. Moisés. But he resisted. He was no hero. He stuttered. He doubted. He asked, "Why me?" But the voice insisted, "You will go back. You will set them free." He trembled. The desert had made him soft, broken, afraid. But something inside him flickered, like that flame. Thank you for staying with us this far. The most dramatic part of Moisés's life is just beginning, and it will shake everything you thought you knew. Plagues, power, and pain. Moisés returned to Egypt, but not as a prince, as a prophet. He confronted Pharaoh, the same throne that once called him family. Pharaoh laughed, so the plagues began. Water turned to blood, frogs, flies, boils, fire from the sky, each one worse than the last. But with each plague, Pharaoh's heart grew colder, and so did Egypt's. Moisés watched a land he once loved collapse. The cost of freedom was unbearable. Even his people questioned him. "You brought us more pain, not freedom." But he pushed on, because he wasn't fighting just for them. He was fighting to believe that his life had meaning. Freedom at a cost. Finally, the sea split. The people walked through. Freedom at last. But the story doesn't end there. In the desert, the Hebrews turned on him. They longed for Egypt. They built idols. And Moisés, exhausted, old, heartbroken, struck a rock in anger. That act cost him everything. He led them to the promised land, but he never stepped inside. He died alone on a mountain, looking at the land he gave his life to reach. Moisés was more than a legend. He was a man, torn by identity, haunted by failure, fueled by belief, and broken by the very people he tried to save. His story isn't about perfection. It's about perseverance and the price of purpose. Which part of Moisés's journey hit you hardest? Tell us in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more emotional, real-life stories from history. And watch the next video we've prepared. It's one you won't forget.